James was trying to call his friend Paul. He can remember, and then it gives you a whole series of facts. Then it asks this: what's the maximum number of calls Jason needs to make to reach his friend, assuming all calls are answered? So I guess the idea is this: because he's going to be trying a whole bunch of numbers and he's not sure which one it's going to be, right? The maximum number of calls is, well, how many different possibilities are there for different numbers? I'll give you an example. Let me change this, okay? Suppose you were trying to ring up Pizza Hut. Now, this is, at least when I was younger and watching TV, this is the number for Pizza Hut, okay? And there was like a jingle that went along with it, and anyway, it's fairly easy to remember, but suppose I forgot, okay? So suppose, there we go, I didn't know what that last number was, okay? So, what am I going to do? I'm going to get out my phone, okay? Well, suppose I can't remember the jingle. And I'm just going to try, well, for instance, I might dial, and I might try this number. 9481 1113. Right? I give it a call, and someone else is like, yeah, hello, this is Ali. I'm like, do you make pizzas? You're there like, no, I don't make pizzas. Sorry, I think you got the wrong number, so I'll hang up. Right? And I'm like, well, this one's wrong. This one's wrong. Okay, so then I'll try another one. I'll just, I'll ring this one. Okay? So I'll be like, hello, and it'll be like, yeah, this is Luke. I'm like, Luke, do you make pizzas? And he's like, no, go away. I mean, I do make pizzas, but I'm not going to make a pizza for you. So wrong number. Okay, hang up. So you get the idea. I'm going to go through this, and now how many different times am I going to have to call? There are going to be 10 different ones, because there'll be 3, there'll be 4, obviously there'll be 1 and 2, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and then there'll be 0.
But this says there is no 0.
Now just wait. I'm trying to illustrate the way it works, because I could just give you the answer, but I want you to see how I got there.
So that's actually maybe.
So, the first idea is, okay, I'm going to have to trial and error through these numbers. Now, in this situation, there are 10 options. So the maximum number of times I would call would be 10 times. Eventually, one of them I'll hit the actual number. Right? Now, this is just a simple example. Let's have a look at this example and try and fit it into this. Okay? Again, it's an 8-digit number. Okay? And he knows the first 6 digits. So let's just give an example. Suppose the first 6 digits were, well, they don't even all start with 9s anymore. They can start with 8s and that kind of thing. So suppose these were the numbers. Okay, so it's an 8-digit phone number, right? You can see there are going to be 8 numbers, okay? And I know the first 6 digits. I know that no 2 digits are the same, right? So you see, none of them are the same, and these last 2 also not going to be the same. And there are no zeros. Okay, now let's have a think about this. So that means I only have a few different choices for what numbers can be here, right? There can't be any of these numbers. What are the options that I've got?
1, 2, 3.
It can be a 3 or a 2 or a 1. No zeros, right? Okay. So what I want to think about is, well, how many different combinations are there? How many different phone numbers can fit this pattern, and these are only the numbers I can do? Well, let's think about this. You can actually, there are not that many. You can actually, where's my whiteboard? You can actually write them out. Right? So for instance, I could do 1, 2. That'd be okay. I could do 2, 1. That'd also be okay. Okay. Right. I could do 1, 3 or 3, 1. There's one more pair that I can do.
2, 2.
I could do 2, 3 and 3, 2. There are no more possibilities, because I'd have to use a 0, or I'd have to repeat a number. That's it. Okay.
Why not 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9?
Okay, now, so, good question. I can't use any of these numbers because the question says there are no 2 digits the same, which is why I can't even put 2, 2. Okay? Yeah. Carl, question.
Can't you find out how many combinations there are through the explanation thing?
Not without understanding more about how this thing works. Okay. Now, I can sort of go, I can think about it, I can explain it another way. Okay. So, number 1, you could just list them out. Okay. You might notice, by the way, like, who says this is the number? We don't actually know what the first digits are, right? So for instance, suppose the first, sorry, this is what I want. Suppose the first 6 digits are this. Maybe it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then there are 2 blanks. Okay. So now in this case, what are the different numbers I could put in there? There are 3 choices. 7, 8, or 9, right? Now, because again, I've got 3 numbers to choose from, and I'm going to put them into these spots, it's going to be the same arrangement. It's just going to be for different numbers. So I can do 7, 8, or 8, 7. I can do 7, 9, or 9, 7. And I can do 8, 9, or 9, 8. It's exactly the same, right? So no matter which set you start with, you're always going to have 6 more options to end with. Okay, yeah.
Will it work? Like, if you get the amount of numbers that you can put in.
Yes. Okay. Good. So there's the next way that I'm going to explain it. Rather than these ways, suppose we approach it like this. Okay. These examples, right? All it means is I block off 6 numbers. There are 6 numbers you can't choose from anymore. Okay. And then you need to fill in what are the last 2 numbers. Okay. The second last number and the last number. That's all you really care about. Okay. Now we know that whichever are at the start, okay, there are only 9 digits you can choose from in total, right? Because 0's out, right? They said 0's out. So therefore, if 6 have already been taken, any 6, right? Suppose it's like random, like these 2 and these 4, okay? So those are the ones that get used for your first 6 digits, okay? Now I'm left with 1, 2, 3 digits to choose from. There's always 3 digits to choose from. Can you see? It might be 1, 2, 3 you can choose from, or 7, 8, 9, or 1, 4, 9, whichever. Okay. So now think about this. How many different numbers can I put in here? Well, I have 3 to choose from, right? So I can put 3 possible ones. Now, after I put one of those numbers in there, how many numbers are there left for me to choose from to put in here? There are 2, because I can't use all 3 anymore. One of them got used here. So now there are 2 possible ones. So you've got to have both, so it's really 3 times 2 different ways, which is 6. Okay? Now you're not expected to know, like there's a full topic in stage 6 called permutations and combinations. It's a really big fancy word, which is all about this, okay? What you were expected to do was to say, well, just try a scenario and then you can, this is the reason why they had to eliminate the 0, because there are too many options otherwise, okay? But there you go, there's the 6 different ways. So 6 is always going to be the maximum number, all right?